Every once in a while, Polyphony shows some of their brilliance and some of their creativity on these daily races. You guys gonna see what I'm talking about right now. Boom, there it is, guys. Night racing around Mount Panorama in the Group 4 cars for Daily Race C, and I just have to say, this is such a beautiful combination. The fact that we are doing night racing here for daily races is just such a huge monkey wrench in what we typically get on daily races, as we get our 3, 2, 1 and away we go. And you guys can just see right here the difference it is when you're doing night racing compared to day racing, as you could just see that it's very, very difficult to kind of spot where your braking points are at, what is going on ahead of you, especially up the mountain where there are just no lights. You just have to rely on your headlights and rely on the cars ahead of you as we work our way through it for the first time up the mountain. So hit our apexes, make sure that we don't get into the rear end of the Uruguayan. We take a little peek onto the inside of the mountain as he's kind of holding us up here, and he's able to just hold his position off just a tad bit into the left hand side. We have to back out, and we just follow him now as we work our way all to the top of the mountain. But up the mountain here, he makes contact with the wall and just gets him very, very squirrely as we have nowhere to go except for his rear. And just kind of sucks right now because we really can't go anywhere. This part, it's just very, very difficult to make overtakes. It's just not wide enough. The racing line is not wide enough, and the tarmac is not wide enough to go for an overtake, unless if you accidentally push the car out or accidentally get pushed out yourself. So it's just a lot of patience you have to kind of exercise here, of just riding behind the car all the way up until you lead into this final straight that will lead you into the chicane. That'll probably be your best overtaking spot. But as we come out of the final corner of the mountain, we get a really great exit as the Atenza just struggles to get onto the power, and we are able to get a really great run on the right hand side, make the overtake, and we are now up into 4th place ahead of the Uruguayan as we set our sights on the Brazilian and the Americans for podium. So not too shabby of a start here. We're already one position up as we spot our braking point, heading into the chicane for the first time. We clip our apex here, but we get absolutely demolished from behind, and it is the Uruguayan of Seba that was the culprit that took us out. And I am not sure exactly what happened there. I'm not sure if he just missed his braking point or intentionally tried to wreck us, clipped the grass, or even got hit from behind, but somehow it's basically the same result. We get taken out by Seba, and we're not the only one that pays the price here, as he gets demoted down into 13th position as well. As we head back into the mountain, the Corvette just makes contact with the rear of the Atenza, goes way back, and we are able to just easily do a wreck avoidance here, get back that 14th position, and now it is just a redemption race here, boys and girls, as we try to catch up to Seba and Monster Fox here up in 12th, and just try to see if we can get around them as soon as possible, because we have to get around as many cars as we can on one of the hardest tracks to work your way from the rear to the front, just due to the fact that on the mountain section it's basically all single file, because there's not really that much tarmac and a lot of overtaking opportunities. The only good overtaking opportunities they can really do around this track is on the final chicane and heading into turn number 1, as you can get a really great run on the slipstream, abuse it, and just set yourself up for a beautiful overtake on some of these corners. But as we head down into the final part of the mountain, we're just navigating our way nice and easy, making sure that we make too many mistakes we already had before. But on the exit, you can see that Monster Fox just makes contact with the barrier, and that just pinballs him all the way to the left hand side. He makes contact with the inside wall, and we're able to gain a free position there, as we are now abusing the slipstream here of Seba, getting to the rear, working our way to the right hand side. We set ourselves up for a beautiful overtake here as we head into this little kink here. Just keeping it on the inside, we're able to make the overtake done completely, but at this point I'm still clutching my fingers right here. It's just making sure that we don't get taken out, as it was deja vu of the lap previous, and luckily for us, Seba was able to keep it under control, and we were able to get around him and get up into the 12th position here. So not too shabby after 2 laps, or actually just 1 lap, and falling back to P15. We were able to work our way now up into P12, and we set our sights on these 3 drivers that have been fighting really, really hard with each other for this 9th place position, which has been beneficial towards us. But once we get involved in this fight, it's going to be a little bit scary, because I don't know what's going to end up happening, if these guys are going to still fight aggressively and we're going to get either taken out, or we're going to hopefully be able to get around them nice and clean and easy and just maybe find our way up into 9th place. So who knows here. So heading down the back stretch again, we get into the slipstream of the Aston Martin as we make a tad bit of contact with the grass, and it's just kind of killed our momentum on the exit here as the helicopter on the top is just glitching out left and right. Not a good day for the riders or the passengers or the pilot there. But anyways, spotting our braking point into the final chicane, making sure that we don't make contact with TSA here as they kick up a ton of dirt off of the chicane, and you could just see how much it blinds you when you are driving into that dirt, especially here at nighttime. Once that light hits that dirt, it almost is reminiscent of just doing some rain racing, as you just get a huge spray into your windshield, and it can be very, very distracting here, as you might see it come into play a little bit later in this video. But off of the first chicane, you can see that they're still kicking up dirt left and right, and we're able to stay in the slipstream of 11th place as him and Pro are starting to fight side by side. They go into the first corner here, or second corner here, side by side, and luckily both of them were able to navigate through the corner without any incidents, except for a little bit of beating and banging. But I was expecting someone to go into the barrier, because usually when you start beating and banging like that into one of these corners here on such a narrow track, it's just a recipe for disaster. But we're just following along here with TSA, just staying in the rear of him, and just following these guys up the mountain. It's getting a tad bit squirrely here because we are now stuck within a sandwich, as we have STL Stig right behind us, and we make contact with the wall. We lose a little bit of concentration, and that just hurts us out tremendously, as we lose about an entire half a second on the 11th place driver. But down the mountain here, you can see that TSA gets very, very loose, and he just cannot control it, goes straight into the wall. RIP to my man. And we find ourselves up now into 11th place, as we are able to take full advantage of that total wipeout, and we spot our braking point heading into the chicane. But heading to the chicane, you can see that they're still kicking up a ton of dirt. We lose concentration of where we're at once again, accidentally make contact with the grass, and that just leads us to go wide off of the chicane, and we lose the free position that we got from Stig, and now we are pushed back into P12. But the least of our worries is not over there, as we now have Cyrus, one of the fastest United States driver, right behind us, and it's going to be very, very interesting to say these final 2 laps, as someone goes off wide. I believe it was fake taxi for some reason. He just went all the way to the left hand side, and I think he got disconnected or something. But very unfortunate for him, as he's having a really good battle with these guys up ahead. But we're able to make a free position due to that, as we're now up into P11. But that free position might go away here just very, very soon, as Cyrus tries to make an overtake on the outside, make a little bit of contact, but nothing too crazy here, as he just follows right back in line here, heading up the mountain. And you could see now that the tires on the Scirocco's are starting to wear out, and it's very unfortunate because this is a no stopper. So we didn't have an opportunity to come into the pits and try to switch out these tires, although when this car has fresh tires, like the very first 4 or 5 laps, this car is lethal. You can make up so much time due to the fact that it's just so quick around this track. But once you hit that 6th lap or that 5th lap, it's just the tires in the front, due to the fact that this is a front wheel drive car, it just immediately dies, and it's just very, very difficult to navigate through this track with the worn tires, as you just get a ton of understeer on a lot of these corners. A lot of really quick corners that you just get a ton of understeer. So as we come out of the final corner off the mountain, you can see that we get a decent run as someone kicks up more dirt. You can see it's just getting into a blind of just dirt everywhere. But anyways, as we head down the straight, I'm a little bit worried here because Cyrus has a really good run. We try to make our car as wide as possible, but it's just no effect here. Cyrus gets into the left hand side, easily able to make the overtake, so we have to back out into the kink. And there you go, guys, he's on the inside, defends his position into the chicane. We try to go for a cutback, but it's just not going to work out here. He just gets the great exit here. He's got better tire than us, and we just have to follow back in line here as we attempt going for another cutback. He does defend into the final corner, but just nothing we can do here. Just can't get a good enough traction on the exit to just abuse the acceleration of of this Sirocco, and we just find ourselves right behind him. But up the mountain here, NPC gets a really bad entrance off of the second corner, or exit off of the second corner, and that really hurts him out here, as Cyrus is able to make an easy overtake on him on the inside. We attempted to squeeze the gap onto the inside of NPC, but we just could not finish the move there, so we just have to ride along behind him, which is something I didn't want to do because I think he's also in the Sirocco. It's a little bit difficult to tell due to the fact that it's you know, it's very bright. As someone just resets back onto the track, and that is another free position for us. So we're losing positions, but we're gaining positions left and right, and it's just been a wacky race. But yeah, not sure what happened to that guy that reset it back onto the track. All I know is that we're still right behind NPC, and if we can get a good enough exit right here, we could possibly go for the overtake, as he makes contact with the wall, but so do we. But it's not all doom and gloom here, as we're still in the slipstream. We could take, I'm telling you guys, we can abuse the slipstream on this backstretch, and if we can position ourselves right, we can make the overtake heading into the chicane. As you can see, the gap is closing down to 2/10, now down to 1/10. We are now on his rear bumper, and I can see that right here he's driving the Mitsubishi Lancer, which is a very interesting choice. But heading to the chicane, just goes a tad bit too strong into the corner, loses his position right there. It goes a tad bit wide on the exit, goes straight into the grass, and we were able to make the overtake on him, capitalize on his mistake, and we are now up into P10. So it's been such a wacky race now as we cross the start finish line, lead ourselves up into the final lap, and I don't think the carnage is over just yet. As you can see that there are 4 cars right ahead of us that are all within about a second of each other, fighting for that 6th place position, or yeah, the 6th place position. So it's going to be very interesting what happens here as we navigate down the mountain for the final time. And you can see that there is a little bit of contact with the wall as someone gets a 1-second penalty, and that is the Brazilian of Postigo. So unfortunate for him on the final lap, which is half a lap to go. He gets a 1-second penalty, and he goes straight into the wall as we try to go into the left-hand side. And it's going to be a drag race to the penalty zone. He's got to serve his 1-second penalty, slows down, serves his penalty, and we are able to capitalize on that, get a 9th place position. But up ahead, Cyrus tries to make an overtake on Pro, but Pro pushes him off into the barrier, and Cyrus loses a tremendous amount of time right there as he was just pushed into the barrier by Pro. That's kind of unfortunate for him, but that's fortunate for us because we are now starting to catch up to him as we are closing the gap here, and he's got very dirty tires. So into the final corner, I don't think we're going to be able to make an overtake on him. It's just going to run out of time as he goes a tad bit wide again, goes straight into the grass. And although we are closing the gap, it's just going to be too late, and we finish this race in 9th place after a very dramatic finish there. We were not expecting to gain another position from the incident with Postigo, but that happened, and then on top of that, Cyrus and Pro got into a little skirmish right there, and unfortunately for Cyrus, he got the worst end of the stick right there. But a very great drama-filled race, and like I said, I am really enjoying this Daily Race C, and I hope you guys are too as well. I'm just itching to get back onto Gran Turismo Sport so that I can do a little bit more of these races. But let me know how you guys are doing on this race. Leave it in the comments down below, and if you guys really enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button and the subscribe button, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do that. And if you guys want to follow me on the Twitters, Instagram, or even on Discord, all those links are in the description as well. And since you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys did, I hope to catch you guys on the next one. Peace.